In terms of latency, I think the story I take away from the latency numbers, apart from DNS is still a problem, and we see that all the time. You would have thought DNS would get better, but apparently it's still hard. I mean, I'd be interested in Nick's thoughts on new things like, is it UDP, Nick, that may solve the DNS issue?
No, the other
Or
way
in
around.
TCP?
Well, HTTP. So DNS is UTP now, which is you send a packet, you don't acknowledge whether or not you returned it, so they can get lost. But it's fast and it works. The new DNS is HTTPS, where it's actually making a full connection, and so you'd think that will be slow in the long run, but trouble with UDP is you send a packet and it doesn't get there. The client will then wait for a second before retrying by default, or longer, and that's where we see the long tail. So whether or not, HTTPS, you're adding security, so it'll be slower, but on average, but it'll be more reliable. So yeah, it depends what you want out of your DNS, I suppose.
I think there's reliability just and speed. I mean, when we look at the API, the individual API results, depending on the location, even people who've got a good CDN that's well configured will still have areas. We were talking to a customer yesterday who had multiple areas where I'd say 80% of the data centers in the world resolved a DNS connection with them in 2 milliseconds or less, and the others were taking 200 milliseconds. So it's still worth checking that all the places your customers might call you from actually can find your servers and figure out why they're not. It's just doing some legwork and being attentive to it, and using APImetrics to do so, just as a little plug.